When people think of early space explorers, names like Yuri Gagarin, Neil Armstrong, and Laika, the first dog in space, often come to mind. However, there's one unsung hero that history tends to overlook: Félicette, the first cat to ever venture into space. Her journey on October 18, 1963, was a groundbreaking moment in space exploration, providing valuable insights into how living beings respond to space travel. Though she doesn't get as much attention as some of her famous counterparts, Félicette's mission helped shape the future of spaceflight in remarkable ways. In the 1960s, space exploration was in full swing. Every major nation was racing to unlock the mysteries of the universe, and France was eager to join the space race. To study how space affects living organisms, the French government selected animals to be the first test subjects. While dogs, monkeys, and chimpanzees had already been launched into space, the French turned to a different animal: cats. Why cats? Scientists believed their small size and quick reflexes made them ideal candidates for experiments, especially when it came to understanding the neurological impact of spaceflight. Out of 14 cats initially chosen for this mission, a black and white stray named Félicette stood out. She had the right temperament, passed all the health exams, and seemed perfectly suited for the task. On the morning of October 18, 1963, Félicette's moment arrived. She was placed aboard a Veronique AG-1 rocket and launched into the sky from a site in Algeria, which was under French control at the time. Her rocket soared to an altitude of 157 kilometers, which brought her to the edge of space. For about 15 minutes, Félicette experienced what very few living beings on Earth had ever felt: weightlessness and the incredible forces of acceleration. But this wasn't just a ride for fun. Félicette had electrodes implanted in her brain that transmitted data back to scientists on Earth. They were particularly interested in how her brain and body reacted to the stress of space travel and microgravity. When the flight concluded, her capsule returned to Earth, descending safely by parachute. Félicette survived the mission and was recovered in good health. While Félicette's journey may sound like an unusual story, it had a real impact on space science. Her flight was part of a broader effort to understand the effects of space on living organisms. At the time, space was still an unknown frontier, and researchers needed every piece of data they could gather before sending humans into orbit. Félicette's mission gave scientists critical information about how space travel could affect brain function and overall health. The use of animals in space missions was common practice during this era. Though controversial today, these animal flights provided essential information that helped ensure the safety of human astronauts. By studying how different species responded to space conditions, scientists could develop better systems and safety protocols for future manned spaceflights. Despite the significance of her mission, Félicette's story faded into obscurity over the years. Unlike Laika, who tragically died during her spaceflight and became a worldwide symbol of the sacrifices made in the name of exploration, Félicette's survival didn't earn her much recognition at the time. She was often referred to simply as the first cat in space, and her individual importance was largely forgotten. However, this changed decades later. In 2019, a crowdfunding campaign was launched to finally give Félicette the recognition she deserved. Supporters successfully raised funds to create a bronze statue in her honor, which now stands in Paris. The statue shows Félicette gazing up toward the sky, perched atop the Earth, a symbol of her historic journey and a long-overdue acknowledgement of her contribution to space exploration. Her mission helped scientists gather crucial data that shaped future human spaceflights. Today, as we push further into space, from planning missions to Mars to developing long-term stays on the Moon, Félicette's pioneering trip reminds us of the early days of trial and discovery. Her story is not just about a cat sent to space, it's about the spirit of exploration, the pursuit of knowledge, and the animals who helped make it possible. In the end, Félicette deserves her place in the history books alongside the greats. Her brief but significant flight into the stars proved that every little step in space exploration, whether human or animal, has the power to change the course of history. And now, with her bronze likeness gazing up toward the cosmos, Félicette's contribution will never be forgotten.